I would like to start my talk by paying tribute to some people who have really helped me when I was doing my PhD work. That was Pragji Dosa, Kanti Sen Shroff, Usha Shroff, and Shashikant Jesrani, and many others who are not with us. Pragji Dosa gave me this letter, and with this letter, I used to go and visit the people and collect the information from them or interview them. I'm also thankful to Suki for her good words for me. Thankful to Khaki for giving me this platform. Thankful to Raj Paleja for helping introducing me to Khaki and Bharat Bhutaskar for this work. I'll start my talk now about the Bhatias. About the Bhatias, it is said that they came from Kutch, but no, the Bhatias arrived in Mumbai during the 18th century, came from Kutch and Halar, and their original home was different. They originally were from northwest of India and were Kshatriyas, they were warriors, and they belonged to the ruling class. They were from Multan, and some believe that they were from Ghazni, from where they migrated to Jaisalmer in Rajasthan, and from there they migrated to different places like Kutch, Punjab, Sindh, Thatta, and other places in the north. In the process of migration, they became traders. They arrived in Mumbai, as mentioned earlier, during the 18th century from Kutch. Some of them settled in present-day Gujarat. Some went to Africa and to the Gulf. Now I'm saying present-day Gujarat because Kutch at that time, when they arrived here, that time it was a separate state. It had its own time system, currency, and the king was there. Bhatias are Yaduvamshis, those who left Multan. Some of them settled in Mathura. And this is about the term Bhatia, how the term Bhatia came. There are many legends, and I don't want to quote all the legends. Only one I will quote, others you can see afterwards. The last Raja of Mathura was Jai Singh. He was invaded by Ajaypal of Bhiana and was killed in the battle. Jai Singh had three sons, and Vijaypal, the eldest one, gained the kingdom of Karoli, and his two brothers went to forest near Karoli, where they devoted themselves to worship of goddess Ambadevi. At the end of a year to devotion, they failed to propitiate the goddess, and they determined to gain her favor by offering their heads to her in furnace, that is Bhatti. Pleased with their final act of piety, the deity appeared to them and desired them to crave for a boon from her. They answered that as Kshatriyas, they needed kingdom, whereupon the Devi ordered Jairaj to go to the west and found a kingdom in Rajputana and call himself Bhatti Singh, as he had been saved from the furnace, that is Bhatti. He founded the kingdom of Bhattis or Bhatias on her own. At the end of the year of devotion, they failed to propitiate the goddess, and I think I have told you that he started the kingdom.
Right.
Now, the Bhatia community is divided into 84 Nukhs. How these 84 Nukhs were formed, why they were formed, is there this question. It is said that the Bhatia leader Jethanand served at the court of Bahadur Shah, governor of Firoz Tughlaq, in 1379. Hiralal, a Khatri, was also in the service of Bahadur Shah. In presence of Jethanand, Hiralal criticized the Bhatias. Jethanand swallowed the criticism and decided to probe into the past of the Bhatias and their 84 Nukhs. In 1384, Jethanand appointed Jassa, a Saraswat Brahmin, to write the history of Bhatia community. Jassa traveled for 5 years in Mathura, Karoli, Lodarba, and Deraval, and gave an account of the community. About 84 Nukhs, he stated that in 1310, a meeting was called by the Bhatia chiefs in which they had called learned Brahmins to suggest solutions to their problem regarding marriages of their children. The problem had arisen as many of the Bhatias had migrated from Multan to Jaisalmer, and some of them had returned to Multan, about 2,000 families, in 1259 when Alauddin Khilji attacked Jaisalmer. Those who had gone to Jaisalmer had given up Kshatriyahood and had become traders. Those who remained in Multan had remained Kshatriyas, and they did not give their daughters to those who had come back from Jaisalmer, nor did they accept their daughters. Brahma Sabha. The problem also arose because all the Bhatias belonged to one Gotra, the Gotra of Sri Krishna, Atri Gotra. As per Hindu religious rules, marriages cannot take place in the same Gotra, and therefore it was decided in the meeting of 1310 that the Bhatias should not marry within 49 generations as per the Shastras. They divided the entire community in 84 groups. They called them Nukhs. This is the picture of that Brahma Sabha that was held in 1310. This is how the Bhatti Rajputs dressed when they were in Multan, and this is the founder of Jaisalmer. The Bhatias who migrated to different places identified themselves with those places. They used geographical identity. For example, those who went to Sindh called themselves Sindhi Bhatias. Those who went to Thatha called themselves Thathai Bhatias. Those who went to Kutch, they called themselves Kutchi Bhatias. Those who came to Halar, they called themselves Halai Bhatias. There are various theories about how the term nomenclature Bhatia came into existence, and there are legends also. When they migrated from Multan, they were just Bhatias, but the divisions came when they migrated to different places. Now, this is how they were in their. So I was just thinking that we will go to the streets of Bombay, we will come through certain landmarks, Bhatia landmarks. Now, about this dress, I want to say that when they were in Multan, they were like this. And when they came, the ladies adopted Parsi style of wearing saris. Then this is the fountain near Reserve Bank of India in the fort area, where there is a person called Ratanji Mulji who has given this fountain to the municipal corporation in 1894 in the memory of his son, Dharamsi. And this is a Bhatia boy, that is Dharamsi, with a book in his hand, and the fountain is given to the municipal corporation. Then we come to Bombay, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj railway station terminus, where we find this Bhatia Bagh. Actually, people used to think that Bhatia is the name of a person, but it's the name of a community. And this is one of the Havelis or the temple of the Bhatias, which is in a Rajasthani style and which is in Katha Bazar, a very congested area. People say that we don't have time to stare at these buildings, but once they see the picture, they go and see the building. That's what I have experienced. This is the Ascendity, and this is Kanji Ketsi Ladies Hostel near Reserve Bank. This is another landmark of the Bhatias. When we traveled on the Kalba Devi Road, we come across this. This is called Dwarkadish Haveli, but the British used to call it Monkey Temple, since, they have decorated this Haveli with the statues of rishis and monkeys and all the toys which Sri Krishna liked. This is the entrance of that Haveli. Then we have this Indian Merchant Chambers. Most of the Bhatias were responsible for pointing it. That's why I have included them. This is the Mota Mandir, at City Tank. This is again a very important landmark near Prarthana Samaj in Girgaon, where you will find the Bhatias building, which was made at the cost of 1,75,000 or something in those days. And it was given to the Bhatias on rent. Then this is C.C. Shroff Chowk in Jogeshwari, and this is in Churchgate, this Lady Thakursi Road. They played an important role in developing this trading port and turning it into gateway of India. In the beginning, the British were happy with them. The Bhatias proved to be a pioneering indigenous group of the people, contributing greatly towards the growth and progress of Bombay. Now, I chose this topic mainly because the credit of developing Bombay goes to the British. But without the cooperation of these people, they would not have been able to carry out the urbanization of Mumbai. Now, who was the first Bhatia to come to Bombay? Many people have different views, but most of the people accept that Jivraj Balu was the first Bhatia to arrive in Bombay. He arrived in 1770 AD, and thereafter the Bhatia population journeyed to waves of Bhatia. Now, once he came, he would tell the people that come here. The British had given them, a lot of facilities to come and settle in Bombay, that now we want to see the frontier borders of Bombay, but in those days, they had given them facility like providing 100 rupees for the repairs of their house, or how rent-free house for 1 year and all such things. So many people started arriving, and as per the census of 1881, in Bombay, the population of Bhatias was 9,417. Being traders in Bombay, when they arrived from Kutch, they improved their trading abilities by studying English language and English system of accountancy. While in Mumbai, they learned Marathi, and Marathi words were used in conversation. For example, calling the akka and all such words they used, or they started using coconut in their food habits and all that. Though being the Pushtimargiya, they were sensitive to the progressive ideas and the benefits of overseas travels for trade and commerce. Those who went abroad took atonement when they returned. Now, this is how they used to trade in cotton first. And when the cotton boom was there, when American Civil War started, these Bhatias, they not only purchased cotton from different parts of India, but they opened their mattresses and took out the cotton and sold it. And that is how they made money at that time. Being leading piece good traders, they established piece good markets in Bombay. The Mulji Jetha market was dominated by Bhatia traders and was one of the biggest piece good markets in Asia. This market was started by the new piece goods company, Bazaar company, by the Jethas. The other two piece good markets of the Bhatias were Lakshmidas Khimji market and Morarji Gokuldas market. Now it is known as Swadeshi market. It exists even today. Now, in course of time, they amassed wealth and were in a position to establish textile mills and became pioneers in textile industry. Here I would like to mention that they did not know they did not have the technical know-how, but they had the capital and they had the curiosity. They wanted to start the mills by themselves, and that is why they borrowed technical know-how from the people by employing those people and provided them the capital. Morarji Gokuldas, who had the monopoly of trading in white shirting, made a profit of rupees 2 lakhs in 1860 and started a textile mill in 1870. He was followed by the Khatau Makanji, then Thakursis. He was the Thakursi Mulji was a piece good merchant, and so was his son Damodar, who started a textile mill. So in the 1885 to 1995, there were 72 mills in Mumbai, out of which 12 belonged to the Bhatias. The mills provided employment opportunities to thousands of workers in Bombay. These people were from Konkan and from Satara. Satara people would lift heavy machinery, and Konkan people were very good in their work. So they, there are many stories stated that people from Konkan used to visit the money order from Mumbai because their people were working in these mills. Bhatia mill owners had started labor welfare schemes even before the government acts and laws in the directions were passed. Here I would like to state that I had the opportunity to visit some Bhatia in mill owners in their bungalows in Malabar Hill, where when I rang the bell, the door was opened and they asked me, whom do you want to see? And I told the owner's name. They said they all are in Muscat. We look after this. And the thing is, they had total faith in their workers, and they taught the workers' children. And when they were capable, they also shifted the workers' children to Muscat and other places where they have the markets, etc., their industries. Now, the Bhatias, here I have given the nomenclature economic nationalism. The Bhatias were pioneers in Indian mercantile shipping. Narottam Morarji gave a tough fight to the British to start his company. His company was Scindia's Steam Navigation Company. He gave the name Scindia's because he had purchased that ship. His company had purchased that ship from the Scindias on the term that they will not change the name. So earlier efforts were made by Jamshedji Tata and Chidambaram Pillai to revive the Indian shipping. I must tell you that Narottam Morarji tried to revive the Indian shipping. It existed right from ancient times, but in between, the British Steam Navigation Company dominated the waters of Indian seas, and that is why he challenged them. Narottam Morarji challenged them. Scindia Steam Navigation Company also believed in Indianization of the company and started ship Dufferin. So why employ the people from abroad? And why send the people to study about shipping abroad? Start Dufferin. And he also started a shipyard at Visakhapatnam. The company opened new ports because the British Steam Navigation Company won't allow these people to go to the ports where they used to go. So what he did, he opened new ports like Porbandar. On 5th April 1919, it became a red letter day in Indian maritime history when the ship SS Loyalty sailed from Bombay as Indian passenger ship, because the Bombay Steam Navigation Company had increased its rates. People could not afford. The government of India in 1964 declared that every year 5th of April would be celebrated as India's National Maritime Day. And the government also issued a stamp in recognition of Narottam Morarji's work. His work was he died a premature death, and Sumati Morarji, his daughter-in-law, kept the tradition of her father-in-law in reviving the Indian shipping. She said that we are not only taking the goods, but we are taking the message of peace and that of Buddha and Mahatma Gandhi. She was also the only, I have purposely done this, woman. She was the only woman in the shipping industry and was taught English at home and had learned the business by keeping her eyes and ears open and not by attending in a business school. Bhatias in chemical industry. C.C. Shroff, a brilliant science graduate, founded Excel Industries in 1941. If a particular thing could be done elsewhere, why not in India? He believed in self-reliance. C.C. Shroff launched manufacturing career on 19 November 1941 with capital about 10,000 rupees. The chemical manufacture was zinc chloride used in textile industry. Bhatias first gave reference to textile industry. Then he entered into field of production of hazardous chemicals, which the country used to import. These chemicals were sometimes given to those leaders who were underground, for example, like Achyutra Patwardhan and others. From 1950, Excel started exporting chemicals to Europe. Reputation, and the company has reputation as an excellent employer, about 3,000 and more. I would like to state here that these people recognized the spark in particular person. There was a Warli boy in the factory, in their company, who used to wash the the trays, etc., but who used to keep a watch on what the people were doing. So once there was a problem about chemicals, something about happened about the chemicals, and this boy went and fixed that problem. So Schrops recognized his spark, and when it was a time to send somebody to England, he was sent to England. And Schrops also refused when some foreign companies wanted to join hands with them, and they believed in total industries, I mean, Indians. Then the Ramsey Chemical Works, there were others, Khatals also entered into the Bhatias in oil industry. Again, you will find that these Bhatias, they found that something is needed in textile. So giant oil mills, Vittaldas, Gopaldas, Udeshi, a trader, observed the demand for castor oil as a lubricant for machines in factories and was rising. So he decided to float an oil mill first in Hyderabad and in Mumbai and other. They have also established giant Beige Oils and Chemicals Private Limited and manufacturers of and exporters of castor oil and grades, dehydrated castor oil, blown castor oil, etc., which are used in cosmetics, etc. Then famous, we all are aware, I mean, it's a everyday name in our kitchens and in our house. That is Marico Industries, Parachute, coconut oil, Saffola, Sweecar. Uh, they are their manufacturers are Mariwalas, who have Marico Industries. Originally, they had started their business in black pepper, dried ginger, and that is why they were called Mariwalas. And then their name was Palija, actually. They entered into oil industry in 1943-44 and set up an oil refinery in Mumbai. Then we have Wallace Flour Mill, Moldex Industries by Rajdas. There are many other economic contributions. Then Vittaldas Thakursi, a successful mill owner, took interest in number of other economic activities such as banking, mining, railway construction, manufacture of gases, cement, and even a taxi company. Initially, they had come as traders and slowly they became brokers of Parsi and other mills and started their mills. They became creators of jobs by establishing textile mills, shipping industry, chemical industries, oil industries, flour mill, etc. Very important is they broke the monopoly of the British shipping, chemical, and even banking. They had workers, they were industrialists, but never underrated the problems of their workers. Here, Seth Gokuldas Tejpal in his last will and testament in the early 19th century, out of his concern for those who served him. Now, served him means those who brought water for him, those who used to give massage to his feet, etc. He kept rupees 46,000. Narottam Moraji started housing scheme for the workers for seniors. That is, you can see near my house, there is at Andheri, we have Sindhya Colony. Then the Mariwalas had started a scheme similar to Provident Fund with the benefit of their workers, even when it was not statutory requirement. Basically, the Bhatias were either traders or industrialists, yet some of them actively supported the workers' strikes. They acted as leaders. For example, Sir Mathuradas Visanji stood firmly behind the railway employees from Matunga workshop. When they went on strike for weeks together, he provided food at the Vasanji Park at Dadar in 1920. The government was very unhappy with him. Kanji Dwarkadas, another man, he was he was in concern with his concern for labor is well known. His debates in Bombay Legislative Assembly Council, I read them in our archives at Elphinstone College, regarding the labor problems and labor disputes, not only showed his concern for the workers, but revealed his deep understanding in their problem. Then Bhatias and Freedom Movement. Govardhan Das Gokuldas Tejpal made available the premises of Gokuldas Tejpal Pathshala at Goalia time for the first meeting of Indian National Congress. This plaque shows that it's a form. And then when 100 years were there, Rajiv Gandhi had come and this plaque was put. This is very interesting. Dwarkadas Dharamsi was closely connected with Lokmanya Tilak. Lokmanya Tilak, as we all are aware, that he was known as father of Indian unrest. He did not belong to moderates, but he was an extremist. Knowing very well about the wrath of the government, Dwarkadas Dharamsi ventured out boldly to deposit the security of 1 lakh rupees with a view to securing release of Tilak on bail. Nobody was ready to give him bail because they were afraid of the government. And Tilak himself told this to Jamnadas Dwarkadas, the son of Dwarkadas. Dwarkadas had to pay necessary price for helping Tilak. He came under the ire of the government, which adversely affected his business and other undertakings as a mill owner. He became marked man and his best friends distanced themselves. His house was seized. And after a few years, the very government made him member of municipal corporation in 1904 and 4 years later made him sheriff of Mumbai. Dwarkadas's son Jamnadas became one of the champions of Home Rule League. He was a member of Theosophical Society in 1912 under Annie Besant's inspiration. He joined politics in 1915. In his paper Young India, he had published Annie Besant's article advocating compulsory military training for Indians, and she said they will become second line of citizens' army. This brought Jamnadas in trouble with government. All efforts were made by the government to make him leave the editorship of Young India. In 1915, Jamnadas also was drawn to Gandhiji's activities. A close watch was kept on him by Commissioner of Police. Jamnadas started attending meetings of Congress. He was a fiery orator. He joined the Dandi March. He went to jail 3 times for his participation in freedom struggle. He was a city corporator for 15 years, a member of Central Legislative Assembly. His autobiography is Political Memoirs. It's very interesting. Now, this is Kanji Dwarkadas, the brother of Jamnadas. He was also a home rule league person. He wrote a book, Gandhiji Through My Diary Leaves, 1915 to 1948, and he mentioned some important events of freedom struggle. Kanji, with all his respect for Gandhiji, became busy after 1920 in carrying on an anti-Gandhi agitation. He worked anti-non-cooperation committee organized meetings to protest against Gandhiji's call for the students to abandon their studies. He was worried what the students will do. After independence, they may follow the same practice. Other Bhatias participated in freedom struggle indirectly. For example, Morarji Gokuldas supported Swadeshi movement. Narottam Murarji believed in the economic nationalism. He believed in independence did not mean political independence, but it meant economic independence as well. His son Shanti Kumar promoted Khadi. He was in close association with Gandhi. This man, Trikamdas Chabildas Purecha, he was known as Kapadia also because they were in trade. He used to bring shiploads of cloth from Manchester and used to sell them in Mumbai. But when he came under the influence of Gandhiji, he used khadi and stopped buying cloth from Manchester and started buying cotton from Amravati. And he knew Marathi very well. Now, this is Trikamdas's bungalow. Now it is not there, but I had the opportunity to enter that bungalow and see the bungalow from inside. Trikamdas was assigned the responsibility of visiting leaders in hiding, that is underground, and give them messages of Gandhiji. All Congress leaders were arrested for participating in the movement, Quit India movement. Those who escaped went underground. Now look at this bungalow. There is a small room on the top which has the separate entrance. A small room on the top floor of Tukamdas's bungalow, Lakshmi Nivas, became a hiding place for those underground leaders, Jaiprakash Narayan, Aruna Safali, Dr. Achyut Pratmadan, Ram Manohar Lohia, and others. Police became suspicious about the bungalow But Trikamdas told them that since the room had separate entrance, it was rented out, did not know who visited the tenant. When Patri Sarkar looted the government treasury, the loot was kept for a night in Lakshmi Nivas. Congress radio was also operated from Lakshmi Nivas for some time. Bhatia women participated in freedom struggle in their own way. For example, by Kabubai Mariwala, under the influence of Gandhiji. I must tell you, this lady was a very audacious leader. She could read English and she had the library of her own. Gandhiji's writing, speeches took spinning to khadi and used only self-spun khadi. Though prevented from going out, she would leave home quietly in afternoon and nurse the wounded freedom fighters or distribute nationalist pamphlets among the people. Another was Gopaldas Mauji Purecha. He was called Manavendranath Azad by Gandhiji, and he had also participated. He was given Tamrapatta, Civil Medal, he was Congress person, and he was known as Kakuga. Other social activities, Govardhan Das Bhagwan Das Dutiya, third from left here. He was interested in social activities. He was elected 3 times as corporator to Bombay, now Mumbai Municipal Corporation from 1968 to 84. As a corporator, he was very active in closing 90 illegal slaughterhouses at Bandra and installation of new modern slaughterhouses at Devnar. As a member of Bombay Municipal Corporation, he had visited the corporations in USA, UK, France, USSR, Southeast Asia, etc. While in Austin, Texas, the mayor of city was so impressed by his speech that he arranged a special function on the very next day to award him honorary citizenship of Austin. It was a rare honor, it seemed. Now, Bhatia women. I am totally impressed by this woman. She is Dhankor by the widow of Morarji Gokul Das, the textile mill owner who died a premature death. Though not formally educated, tactfully she safeguarded the business empire of her husband at Bombay and Sholapur, secured services of Dinsha, Edalji Vacha, and Veerchand Dikchand. She used to call them every day in the morning at home in Chinabad and ask them about the position of finances of the mill, etc. And for her son's education, she took great care. You will be surprised that she appointed N.G. Chandavarkar and Gopal Krishna Gokhale as their tutor. She was shrewd and capable. I will tell you one thing, that whenever the people, she had good relations with governor, governor general, and all the important officers in public. Whenever people used to come and visit her in the morning or whenever, she had developed a code language. If the person was to be served only tea, and if the servant came and asked what is to be, when stood in front of her, she'll just put her hand on her head, doing like this, and say that the person will understand that only tea is to be prepared for this. Then she would put her hand like this, and then the person will understand, okay, this person is going to remain for lunch, and I have to prepare the sweet. Her sweet was doodh pak. And like that, she was very shrewd. She taught the girls in neighborhood lots of pickles, Ayurveda, and all that. Lady Premlila Thakursi, though not formally educated, has received education of English language and was at the helm of SNDT and was able to deal with personalities like Jawaharlal Nehru and others. She also played host to many freedom fighters. Now, she was a good horse rider, Lady Premlila. This is another very great woman, Maniben Kara. She came from house of industrialists, businessmen, but she was the labor leader. If you travel to Grand Road Station, platform number 1, there is a room for the union of the railways. That room was, I think it's in the name of this lady. She was the president of Western Railway Employees Union. Again, she was educated in Chandaramji's Girls High School, and then St. Columba High School, where she came under the influence of Lady Maclean, and she thought that if Lady Maclean coming from England is doing work for people here, why not me do that? And that is how she entered into her union activities. She was sensitive toward political developments in the country. For her, political independence also meant social and economic emancipation of workers. She was a recipient of Padma Shri. Saraswati Ramjivan Madhavji, she was a good painter. She had learned painting from Shirin Bai, and she had started classes at her house in Khar, and it was called Saraswati Mandir. She taught 250 girls. She used to paint on vases and saris and all. Her works of art were sold at Swadeshi market and at markets in Ooty and Shimla. She was fond of horse riding. She was also good in horse riding. She was a perfect business. This woman was overshadowed by Lady Premlila Thakursi, I would say. She is Sundarbai Hansraj Pragji. We all are aware, Sundarbai Hall in Marine Lines. We go there for a garden sale every year. Okay, she lost her husband at an early age from she looked after this trust activities. In 1927, she created another trust in the memory of her husband. It was called Sir Hansraj Pragji Thakursi Education Trust. She devoted her entire life in promoting education among the girls. According to her, literacy among the women was the need of the hour. She set up Gujarati medium school in the memory of her husband at Churchgate. Now, let me tell you, she used to see the girls, Gujarati girls, selling flower garlands, etc., on the footpath. And they used to speak in Gujarati. She used to ask them, what is your education and all. When they said they were not educated, she took them and put them in school. And that is how she helped the people. Now, she had extended her helping hand to the needy and helpless people. In appreciation of her social service, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation has named the place between the corner of Queen's Road and Nathibai Thakursi Road as Sundrabai Thakursi Chowk. Then this is Nirmala Kajaria, who was doctor, medical MBBS. When she cleared it, she thought she will help the villagers, and then she came into contact with Brahma Kumaris, and she combined spiritualism and medicine and tried to help the people. She started a center in Australia, then in 1975, then again she went in 1978 and remained there for next 30 years as in charge of Asia Pacific region of Brahma Kumaris. Ajita Madhavji, my friend. She is the worthy daughter of worthy father. She looks after her father's Hamilton studio at Mumbai. Hamilton has about 6 lakhs negatives arranged neatly and among their clientels include former rulers of states, famous personalities of the states, scientists of the country, and foreigners also, and other elites. From 1928 onwards, they have this negatives with them. So anyone who wants even his or her grandmother's or any forefathers portrait, they can get it. Hamilton has become, Khaki should note this, Hamilton has become a must-visit place just by word of mouth and publicity. People from all over the world visit the place with the when they visit Mumbai and get their picture clicked here. Bhatias have established themselves, elevated the city by philanthropy. Some famous personalities, Tejpals, Sundardas Jeta, Thakursis, cut out shops and make Jimatragas. In all, they had 388 trusts. Now, I told you about this Gokuldas Tejpal family. I told him that he had left his will and did GT Seminary, GT Sanskrit Pathshala, GT Kanya Shala in Fort are some of these works. They have Sanskrit Pathshala, Kanya. I have put the pictures. These are the pictures. This is important. This was known as More Bungalow, and this is Gordandas Tejpal. He gave 10,000 rupees and a piece of land to construct Ville Parle station. He wanted to construct this building there. At present, we have Dinanath Natya Mandir over there. So this bungalow. Now the story goes that whenever these people from his family wanted to go by railway, use railway, they would just open the umbrella standing on the platform and the train would stop for them. Okay. The Jetas. Sundardas Jetha gave handsome amount to establish the very well-known Gokuldas GS Medical College. This is GS Medical College. Said Gordandas Sundardas died a premature death in 1910, and the endowment was created in his name by Mulji Jetha himself. Thakursi, Sir Vittaldas Thakursi gave a donation of rupees 15 lakhs for SNDT University in 1916. To this date, the university has benefited countless women in Bombay, India, and world at large. Lady Premlila Thakursi was in the at the helm of it. This is Meghji Mathradas Trust. In 1943, he himself opened a trust in his name and for educating, starting colleges, schools, scholarships to be given, etc. My college, where I taught, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's college, was created by him, the arts section, and that's why I'm proud to show this. Then this is MULU College by Mathuradas Sanji Trust. Kandivali also has Ratansi Prajji's late wife Ratanbai Ratansi Municipal School. So all these schools were there. Now this is important. Bhatia Hospital, Tardev. This gentleman gave, this is Vallabhdas Kardandas Natha, he gave a piece of land for the construction of additional structure for hospital. When I interviewed some people from that family, someone from that family, not so close, I said, don't they feel bad that a piece of land was given in such a prime location? He said, no, it was a need of that hour. And so he did the best thing. Then this educationalist and social activities, I told you, Govardhan Das, Bhagwan Das Udeshi, he was lover of green Bombay and he used to participate in marathon. At the age of 90 years, he ran 5 kilometers. He was known as Marathon Man. Now, in sports and games, Premji Rajda was keenly interested in sports. He used to win prizes in sports, bodybuilding, and the like. He won second prize in bodybuilding at Olympics at the age of 18, Berlin Olympics. Ragji Dosa was a billiard man and he was interested in cricket. Ratansi, Karsandas, Vasanji, and Pragji Dosa were in billiards. Mathuradas Vasanji, a keen cricketer himself, guided and promoted cricket in India. He was a mentor of Vijay Merchant, the renowned cricketer and commentator. Vijay Merchant. Now he is from the Thakursi family. As a boy, when he went to get admission in the school, the teacher asked the person who was there to ask him, "What is your surname?" So he was quite fumbled. So the person said, "What is your father's occupation?" He said, "We are merchants." So the person put the name Merchant and he became Vijay Merchant. He dominated Indian cricket since 1932 as an opening batsman until 1952. His popular radio program is Cricket with Vijay Merchant. Then this is another important person in cricket, Anandji Dosa. He is known as father of Indian cricket statistics. He has the biggest personal, he is no more. He had biggest personal collection of books on cricket. This is Sumati Ben's father, Sumati Morarji's father, Mathura Das Gokul Das. He was a great patron of sports, especially horse racing. He was the first Indian to win the St. Larger in England in 1921, and his horse Middleton won 167 races. He was known as Resna Raja. Bhatias also made significant contribution to Gujarati literatures. Morar Sahib, G.R. Sampat, Pragji Thakursi, and Kavi Jaman are some of the important names in this. Then Chapsi Udaishi, Pragji Dosa was well known for his children's theater, and he was also well known as in India, USA, Russia, Germany, UK, Uganda, etc. He had 15 Gujarati films, script for, and 3 for Hindi. Government of USA floored a flag on his 75th birthday and sent it to him. Now, Journal Jamnadas Dwarkadas, along with Sobani and Shankar Bankar, he was in publication of Bombay Chronicle. Ratansi Pragji. He was known as Seth Pragji. He was a person who used to work for Khataus. He used to serve water to the people who visited. And then slowly he came to the top of the mill, and along with others, he started a film distributing company. And he signed Raj Kapoor's film. Just he gave him 1 rupee and said, "You start your work. I will see to it that your work is so promoted everywhere as a film distributor." And from that time, the film was Aag, and from that time onwards, Raj Kapoor and Ratan Seth became good friends. Then we have the son. This is in photography, Ranjit Madhavji, the son of Lakshmi Das and Lakshmi Bai Madhavji. Ranjit Madhavji was a world renowned. He died at the age of 99 point something, 6 or 7. He was last year also renowned photographer and proprietor of the Hamilton Studio Private Limited, Mumbai. The studio is well known over the world, especially among the elites all over the world, for its portrait photography. It's city's oldest photography outpost. Then, of course, we have art, architecture, pitch-wise, which I will skip them because the time is limited. This is Sanji, again the work of art of the Bhatias. Then Bhatias, other than Kutch and Halai Bhatias. Here, let me tell you, I have mentioned this Thatai Bhatias, they are, and I am also contributing the history of Thatai Bhatias to their book, which will be coming soon from Bahrain. So I thought that I will not give too many details about them in this presentation. But I can say that they have Thatai Bhatias, they came from Thatha, and they are more in Kandivali, Malad, Borivali, and Malabar Hill and Kolaba, etc. They being in Sindh, they came in 1947, and they settled in the camps, and with their money they started at Kandivali, the Thai Bhatia Hall and all that. I don't know whether I should tell this. The religion, while in Multan, they were worshippers of all Hindu gods and goddesses. After coming into contact with the followers of Pushtimarg, a subsect of Vaishnavism, they became Pushtimargis. It was started by Vallabhacharya. This religion is very simple. Do the seva of Balakrishna, no elaborate rituals. Think of deity as a baby in the family. Offer everything best to him. Earlier, they used to visit Havelis, that is the temples they used to call, and along with them, deity, they worship and the successors of Vallabhacharya. This created confusion. I don't want to say many things about the confusion. The social reformer Karsandas Mulji tried his best to expose the malpractices, and Maharaja lodged a complaint against him. Progressive Bhatias supported the reformer, and the other Bhatias, the orthodox, they filed a case against them. So we have Maharaj libel case and Bhatia conspiracy case. This is important, this gave rise to social reform movement in the Bhatia community. They started using Gruha Seva. The Bhatias are hardworking, non-interfering, learn skills, language system. See, they had no technical now, but they recently many people did not know about computers, but then they are starting computer business. Quick to understand qualities and support the persons by giving jobs, providing scholarships. Khatavs generally helped Raja Ravi Varma, Sumati Morarji helped well-known harmonium player Govind Rao Tembe and others. To conclude, I think I've done it in 45 minutes. Suki?
Yes, yes, more or less, yes.
The community's contribution in trade, industry, social and cultural life of the city has been significant. Their Kshatriya spirit can be seen in their risk-taking habit in industry. They did not have the technical know-how while starting the industry, but they borrowed it by providing finance to those who had it, and they even traveled abroad, even though they had to take atonement for that. They participated in freedom struggle even though they had to face the wrath of the government. After independence, when there was Sanyukta Maharashtra movement, some of them supported it, and Ramchandra Bhatia actively participated in it, and he became a martyr. His name appears in the list engraved on the plaque near Hutatma Chowk at Hutatma Monument. Now, I would request if there are Bhatias listening to this, if you have any important information about this Ramchandra Bhatia, please, and other Bhatias also, please do give it to me. But the government was very much aware of their philanthropic activities, which were times useful to the government itself. For example, construction of railways, they had given their land donations. Then they understood their usefulness in the development of the city. No wonder Justice Chandavarkar, while speaking about Bhatias, said, the Bhatias have been one of the most helpful and useful communities that have built up the fortunes of Bombay. They have genius of commerce, and the key to the prosperity of the country lies in the hands of its merchants. Enterprise and generosity have made the community a social force among us. Not ease, not enjoyments, but hard work, the simple habits of your father with an improvements on their social ways suited to time that alone will enable you to maintain the position your fathers have achieved for you by their commercial spirit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mangalaji. That was really very, very nice. Such a comprehensive research you have done on the community, and you've really brought together for us the contributions of the community. You know, you keep seeing in one place or the other, but to see it all together, see the, those who led with example and contributed for people, for industry, for independence. It's very, very heartening to see. Thank you so much for that. I got a little worried when we couldn't have your presentation come up in the beginning, but I firmly believe that every time there is a problem, something good also comes out of it. In the little time that it took for you to put your presentation back, we had some good engagement with the audience where everyone got to sort of know each other. There are quite a few representatives of the community. They managed to engage with each other. So thank you even for that. It was nice to see the communication and correspondence between people and learning. I'm hoping that many of the people in the community have seen your question about finding more information, and hopefully some of them will come forward and yeah, still I'll come forward and tell you. I'm going to run through the conversations a little bit, the chats or the questions that they've asked. Some of them, of course, you've already answered as your talk went, progressed. Somebody wanted to know about the subgroups, the 25 gam, 9 gam, halai, kachi, etc. How did this come to?
I have given the details in my
Already given the details, yes. So we do have. Let me just run through the. Uh, I think somebody just gave mentioned that 100 kilometers from Bawalpur was where Operation Sindhur took place, and so on.
Hmm.
And um,
Yes, basically these Tata and all are in Pakistan now.
are in Pakistan now. So there was also a question on how the Devi Bhakts originally changed to being Pushtimargiya Vaishnavas, but you explained that as well. You answered, you explained that. Um, uh, a lot of questions I think you have already answered.
And my request is, if they have, I mean, I have done while doing my research work, I have got some of these. But if they have more information about the persons I have mentioned,
Right.
please let me know that.
Yeah. I think Jyoti had a question of what was the Saraswat connection that you spoke at the start.
Saraswati was appointed, Jassa was appointed by Jaitanand to collect the information on Bhatias.
Okay.
He was a Brahmin, so they appointed him. He was
Okay.
a Saraswat Brahmin.
He was a Saraswat. You mentioned that a couple of ladies, Prem Lila. I think you mentioned you called them lady. So there was a question whether they were given that title, or is it out of respect
No,
that?
they, out of respect, the government used to say that.
Okay.
Now we say Srimati.
We say Srimati.
Mm.
A few people have asked whether the recording of this will be shared. All the recordings will go up on our YouTube channel, Khaki Lab. You can find, subscribe to our channel and also find this. Um, uh, I think there was a couple of. Um, okay, Danish had a question whether the Bhatias were also involved in the opium trade, like the Mopla Muslim.
The Bhatias were actually, I wanted to say that, but many Bhatias, they had objected when I wrote it in my book. The
Mhm.
thing is, the Bhatias were more in earlier, when they were in Multan and other places, they were in slave trade. They went to Africa, they were in slave trade. But
Okay.
when the British government requested the ruler of Kutch, etc., to end that, he accepted it and the slave trade. Now, I tell you that some of the Bhatias, I mean, the opium trade was very common in those days. The Parsis earned their fortune. The Marwadis were there in opium trade. The Jews were there in opium trade. You know,
Right,
they mention it. Even Joseph Jew has written, Sassoon has written a book on him, the
right,
family, and the empire which they created by opium. But
right.
Bhatias, they were more earlier. And some of them, I read the novels based on Bhatia history by
Mm-hmm,
Punvant Rai Acharya.
mm-hmm.
He has written about how they used to travel in the ships and how uh, they used to catch the slaves and traded in slaves.
Those were the trends of the times. Arun
Yes.
also had a question. What were the reasons for Ramachandra Bhatia to support the Samyukta Maharashtra movement? Because, most others, he was also a Gujarati.
Yes, no, don't call him Gujarati. Bhatia's known, he was a Bhatia, but not Gujarati. As now it has become a part of Gujarat.
From
Kutch is one
Gujarat,
of the
let's say.
districts, one
Mm,
of the districts of Gujarat.
right.
But maybe he had his own. That's why I said I don't know much about him. If anyone has the information, please share it with me. I'll be
Uh,
very glad to receive it.
Absolutely. Bijal has an interesting question. Uh, what, what made you research the community?
Okay, what made me to research this community? Okay, when I was writing my MPhil, the contribution of two important communities to Bombay, that is Pachkarshis and Parshikar Brahmins, I am
Mhm.
one of them. So that time I used to read lots of Gujarati. I am very good in Gujarati, reading and writing and speaking. And I
Mhm.
know a little bit of Kutchi also.
Mhm.
So there I came across one book, and there was a line, પહેલા જમાનામાં અડધી મુંબઈ ભાટિયાઓની હતી. Now, if Ardhi Mumbai was theirs, they must have done something, you know. So
Right.
I was quite. Then my guide was telling me that you do something on business communities. Why don't you write on this, that? I said, I'll write on Bhatias. Then I said, why Bhatias? Will you get information? Are there Bhatias in Mumbai? I said, they are very much there in Mumbai, and I will see to it that I write on that. Yes.
Vagisha has a question whether there is any historical record of the Bhatias migrating to the northwest frontier province from Multan or areas like Bannu. And can you tell?
Yes, there are records, but they are in Gujarati, you can read, and not in the government office. They were with the private people. When I visited Jaisalmer and all, I saw them.
Okay.
And when I went to Kutch also, I saw many of those records.
Okay. Arun also asked how the various Bhatia sects, the Halai, Kachi, Thattai, how do they relate with each other socially and culturally?
Many people, they want to preserve their identity. Kachi Bhatias will say, we are Kachi Bhatias. Halai Bhatias will say, we are Halai Bhatias. But actually, if you see anthropologically, they have come from the same place, and they have, as I told you, that this thing, story. They came from
Yes.
the same origin is same, but
Same origin.
they want to preserve their identity as separate groups, and they would they have good relations with each other, but not. I don't think the Bhatias from Punjab or Sindh, they very freely mix with these Kachi Bhatias and all. That's what I feel. I don't know.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
there are a lot of compliments, Manglaji, on in the chats. A lot of people have appreciated the comprehensive nature of your research. They've also invited you to visit them. Miten has said that you must drop in if you go to Washington DC.
Yes, I met Mitten there. Yes.
Others want to
He's
know
in the
if
US Army, you know.
others want to know if they can get your books because looks like your book is out of print, and where can they get both the books. They also want to know if you would like to share your contact details. Maybe you can in the chat drop your email ID if you'd like people to get in touch with you.
Okay, but I must thank Mitten for attending this. I met him in the US, and he had arranged a very nice visit to the Library of the Congress, where there are my History of Bhatia Community, Volume 1, 2, and even Pushtimargiya and all are put in the Asia section. And he was very good. He had come to my niece's place in Washington, and he was very helpful in giving information. I asked him, Miten, you are in the army. If the if bomb is to be dropped, what will you do in Bombay? He said, I will avoid that. There should be no such. Thank you, Miten, for attending.
Chandrahas has a question. He said two eminent professionals can also be mentioned. Gopal Das Kavadia, who is the founder of the Institute of Chartered Accountants and was given
Yes,
membership to
yes.
Foundation Bhavan.
The name is the award is given in his name,
Yeah,
CA.
yeah. And the other was Trikam Das Dwarkadas, who was a
Yes,
solicitor and a staunch.
solicitor. Yes, I have written about him, but
But
it
cannot
was
cover
1 hour.
everyone. Yes.
1 hour, so more than 1 hour it would have been. I would have mentioned about their, relation, how they are more interested in Jamuna ji, not in Ganga ji, and all such things.